And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome. You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Leo. Welcome to Koi Place Tarot. My name is Koi. I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're looking at in this round of reads is going to be your career read for the month of October. So opportunities, ventures, partnerships, things that we put our labor and our work into. What does that look like and what do we get out of it? As a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, I know that these conversations can get difficult, but trust me, as your tarot card reader, I was never purposely misguide you. That's not the type of reading or the type of style that I do. Follow along with me today, and for your career and all the new opportunities that could be afoot, Leo, let's see what the cards say. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. For Leo in this round of reads, what about their career? We're going to do a past, present, future orientation. Try to get a glimpse of what's going on. First, let's look for the past. What are the cards that we need to see? Ooh, that almost flew out. You saw that, right? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo in the past orientation of their read today. In the past, High Priestess. Okay. So the notion of trusting your gut, your internal guidance. In what way? The Nine of Cups. Okay, I like that notion of self-fulfillment. And Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So past, we're looking at a Leo who, made a leap and said, I'm going to try this. I'm going to shoot my shot, try to make sure that I'm happy, try to make sure that whatever new opportunity I have for me, I'm going to go on a path of fulfillment, not just a path of labor. Okay, that was very much a blunt attitude. I got to do this. Even if it doesn't, pan out in the ways I want it to, it is fulfilling for me. The Nine of Cups speaking to both of those cards right there. Fulfillment not only in the prospect of the new opportunity, but rather I have to do this. I have to do this because this has been a goal of mine for so long. Understood. We said that we're going to place our bets on this, and yeah, that's how we move. Good. I like that. Very forthright. Now, in the present orientation, show the cards that Leo needs to see, please, in their here and now. Nice, but didn't hit the table. Show us the cards that Leo needs to see, please, in their here and now. Career read, month of October. Okay. And let's get one more. One more for the present orientation for Leo. Four of Pentacles. Okay. So we're holding on to that dream. Whatever this was back here, very indicative of the right now, saying, hey, I'm here. What about actually continuing that process? What does that actually mean and or look like to me? Nine of Swords. Okay, now things are getting tough. Got it. This Nine of Swords is all types of sharp metal objects, but it represents our anxieties, our fears, our nightmares, things of that nature. And combining it with that Four of Pentacles, what was once the opportunity of fulfillment, I think the closer it got and the more we invested into it, the more it started to bring out the notion of, can I do this? Is this a tangible opportunity for me? Where am I going with this and how will I move with it? Okay, that makes total and absolute sense. And Five of Wands. Yep, external conflict is now rearing its head. Here, again, and I'm going to draw back to your past, Leo, because I think that explains a lot. When we call it a conflict, we are kind of forgetting, the emotive sense of why we pursued that path in the first place. Because in the past, we said, win, lose, or draw, I got to do this for me, right? Now, did it immediately pan out, or is it immediately panning out in all the ways that you initially thought? Maybe not so much. And that's fair. But what I can say is that these fears and all these conflicts that are showing, you have to ask yourself why we still hold on to that, right? What I'm seeing very clearly is that in spite of all these fears, we're going to face a challenge. And that challenge is coming from the space of my fire drives me toward my purpose, but even more so, it drives me in the notion of I'm going to accomplish this. Otherwise, I wouldn't put myself through all this stress, right? It's the same kind of dedication back here, but now instead of just being a tightly wound ball, it's more drawn out, right? We see more patterns, more details, more description as what was once an idea is now panning out, right? We're holding on to it. Now, it's also incurring, some of the difficulty, some of the anxiety of what it takes to actually make that dream come true. But also consider the fact that you haven't let go of the grip yet, and there's a reason why. In future orientation, reveal to Leo the cards you need to see, please. Career read. What is held in the future orientation for Leo in these reads? What will the cards say? Because if it's still coming from that place of pure intentionality and we can remember why we envisioned that in the first place, it is much easier to map a trajectory for where you want this to go. So in the future, Ace of Wands, the fire is still there. It's reignited, it's found again. Cool, I like that for you. Five of Swords. And why the notion of the war within? The Knight of Wands. Okay. Fair enough. 2 fire, 1 air. So just stopping very quickly right there. When I see that in your future orientation, Leo, I also see that when you are able to sit back and thoroughly analyze these patterns of worry and honestly things that may not be useful for ourselves or our center, we're also saying in the future, if I'm to continue my fire, then I gotta look at the ways I actively try to put it out. Right. It's almost like this accountability slap that you give yourself of saying, hey, Leo, wake up, get your head in the game. Right. Because the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands, okay, I have the freedom to let this go if I wanted to. I don't want to. So if I don't want to, what then do I feel is no longer useful for me in terms of accomplishing whatever I said this task was going to be or pan out to be? And the reason I know that is because these Five of Swords, that internal conflict speaks back to this entire problem we had in the present, right? Back over here. The notion that, okay, I'm still going to hold on to this, but I need to acknowledge the problems. Now that my spirit is once again settled on this, I'm going to push forward and I'm going to pursue this in the most optimal way possible. Then I also got to acknowledge, hey, it's not unnatural to have fear, but I can't say I've seen it and analyzed it and then fall back into that same pattern and expect to be or feel better about this. So it's not simply the notion of we're going to accomplish everything immediately. That's not what I'm saying here. What I am saying is that in the future, we're reassuring ourselves by engaging with conflict that we understand what that fear and anxiety can build up to. And we have to actively work at remembering why we did what we did and how we move forward properly. Underneath it all, Three of Swords. Got it. So the notion of heartbreak or pain, or that this brilliant idea that you feel that you had or whatever you were going to embark on, it didn't pan out immediately in the ways that you expected. That makes total sense given the context of where we see right now, right? Your timeline is actually very straightforward. So just consider it. It doesn't have to work out immediately. Sometimes you have to learn a few lessons before you actually go for it, right? You're in that process right now. I see that very much in your present. But don't run away from the pain. Sit with it. Understand it. Because again, there's a reason that in spite of all the pain, you're holding on right now. Remember that reason why. Okay, let's look at the space in between. Show us the cards that rest between, the bridging gap between time orientations and Leo's read today. First, we look at the empty space as occupied between past and present orientations for Leo in their read. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, between the what was and the what is right now. Okay. So between these two, Five of Wands, okay. So an external conflict made itself known. The Queen of Wands, still willing to embrace no matter how hot the kitchen gets. And the Knight of Swords, this is a decision, we're acting on it, we're doing it. Okay, very straightforward answer. Long story short, Leo, yeah, I know the problem's there. So when are you going to run me this check? Right? There is, from the past to the present, this hard insistence that, no, I'm not budging here. I'm realizing more of the problems every single day. And it's frustrating. It is annoying. It is anxiety inducing. It is all these things at once. And I'm still in the fight, right? There's this hard insistence that you're having of, yeah, I understood that because I felt like I struck gold with whatever this idea was, this epiphany for me was. That's why I pursued it. So from the past to the present, well, can't have my cake and eat it too, right? I can't say that I wanted for something and then when I get it, right? Because I could have dropped that any second and I didn't. Why did I not do that? Again, drawing back to the same lessons. So between the present and the future orientation, show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo and their read. Between now and the what if. Show us the connecting energies between those two time orientations and Leo's read today. Between the present and the future, the Hangman. Okay, so as the Hangman intentionally ties himself upside down to a tree, that way he can get a 180 look at the world, so too between now and wherever you want to go with this, Leo, you're trying to force yourself to stop, but not simply stop and give up, but stop and being actively persistent and analyzing. It's a very calculated move that I'm seeing here for what you wanted to do, and okay, I can hold on to the monkey bars. I can, I could keep on doing this and punish myself, or I could try to analyze and try to see, lucrative value for what I want to put in. Three of Wands, the expectation of the horizon. Again, speaking back to, this is very repetitive, but again, it's meant to drive a point home of my observation and my hope of whatever I'm doing. It has a purpose. Let me remember that. Four of Pentacles, last. There's a reason I am holding on, right? Very straightforward read today. Underneath it all, the Hermit, card of Virgo. If I can trust my wisdom, trust that the answers are within me, the tools in the toolkit can be found, then I can move with that. Because I can't just sit in heartbreak about this right now. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to push myself to do that. And simultaneously, hey, what else do I have to look at beyond pain? Okay, I see it. Define the major arcana. Locate it on the table for Leo and their read. And given that we only have one, interestingly enough, let's look at the High Priestess. What do we feel internally about this? What are the cards that Leo needs to see, please? Define this High Priestess on the board. Nine of Cups. So if there wasn't anybody more sure in the past, it was you. There couldn't have been a person more sure than you about this idea. And again, that's how we should be approaching, our ideas, our dreams. And it may seem like pie in the sky ideas, but hey, even that has a reason to, right? There's nothing that happens without purpose. For you, that past orientation of the High Priestess saying, yeah, was it the funnest thing? Well, maybe not, but neither was staying still. So I got to decide, what does fulfillment actually look like here? Is it just, I'm going to create this great idea and it's going to have an overwhelming turnout? Or is it that I'm going to do it and we'll see what life's journey has in store for me, right? Because those go in two different directions. Let's go across. Okay, Three of Wands, the expectation of horizon, the biggest theme, the Page of Cups. When we put our happiness towards our future, right, the pay it forward, future investment of this is where I want to go, this is what I'm doing, these are the expectations of it. We also reveal further parts about ourselves that we want to invest into, right? In other words, what we put ourselves into, we hope pays us back, not simply monetarily, but also energetically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever that means for you, Leo, is that it's having a feedback effect. And that's why you're not letting it go. Part of you is also saying, like, hey, if I let this go, well, then what did I do all of this for? Fair enough. I understand. Resolution. Evil card's resolution for Leo in the read. What is held in spiritual resolution for Leo in this career read? The resolution we see. Page of Wands, okay. Optimism, no matter how small. Again, it is a page, but it is saying, you know what? Don't let that fire die. Keep going. I know it's hard, but I can do this. I can do this. I just gotta remind myself of the reason why. Two of Wands, intentionality. There we go. And even that small fire can now be put into action. It's not about just what that dream was. It's now about how we work with it given our current circumstance and what we want to apply and learn from it in the future. Underneath it all, the Knight of Cups. When we show our most authentic, our authentically vulnerable version of the self, but also express what is the real reason I did all this, it starts to pay us back. Let us never forget our reason why. Do not forget the why. All in all, in your career read today, Leo, I'm happy for you, right? We didn't give up on the dream. That's the first. It was hard. It is hard, but we have not given up on that. I think when we want to, move forward with the idea, we always got to ask ourselves and remember our reason as to why we did it in the first place. Because I think that's going to yield more answers to you than you give yourself credit for, right? So keep looking, keep striving for that. And that pain will be there, but also it'll make us be, in the best case scenario, find our own ingenuity to bring out what that's really meant to, which is ultimately success design in our favor. That's what I have for you today in this read, Leo. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, keep going. I'll see you around, okay? Bye.